In the previous video, I looked at rolled and steel-cut oats, where the main difference was how processing changes the physical form of the same grain. In this video, I'm extending that same concept to rice. White and brown rice come from the same grain, but differ because the outer layers are removed. This provides another example of how food structure can influence digestion and blood glucose response. Rice is a staple food for a large part of the world's population. White and brown rice come from the same grain, but differ due to processing. This makes them a useful example for understanding how food structure influences digestion and blood glucose response. Brown rice is a whole grain, meaning it retains the bran and germ. These outer layers contain fiber and contribute to a more intact physical structure. White rice is produced by milling brown rice, which removes the bran and germ. This process changes the grain's structure and reduces its fiber content. According to Canada's nutrient file data, cooked brown rice contains slightly more protein, fat, and dietary fiber than cooked white rice, while the total carbohydrate content is similar. The fiber difference is especially notable and relates to the retention of the bran layer in brown rice. Removing the bran layer reduces physical barriers within the grain. This makes starch more accessible during digestion, which can influence how quickly it is broken down. Dietary fiber is the portion of plant foods that resist digestion in the small intestine. In whole grains, fiber can slow access to starch, contributing to a slower digestion process. The physical structure of food influences how quickly carbohydrates are digested. Faster digestion allows glucose to be absorbed more rapidly into the bloodstream. In the case of rice, white rice generally digests faster than brown rice due to differences in fiber content and grain structure. Evidence from controlled feeding studies indicates that brown rice is associated with a slightly lower postprandial blood glucose response compared with white rice. However, these differences are generally modest and are influenced by factors such as portion size, cooking method, and the overall composition of the meal. From an evidence-based perspective, grain processing alters physical structure, including fiber content and starch accessibility. These structural differences influence digestion kinetics, which in turn affect post-meal blood glucose responses. Both white and brown rice can be incorporated into balanced dietary patterns depending on context. From a practical perspective, both white and brown rice are evidence-based choices. Selection can be guided by factors such as portion size, what the rice is eaten with, and individual preferences, rather than viewing one option as universally better.